raise it up, why? Raise it up, raise it up, why? Hey, raise it up, hey, raise it up, why? Raise it up, hey, raise it up, why? Raise it up. North side, raise it up. South side, raise it up. East side, raise it up. West side, raise it up. Raise it up, raise it up, raise it up, raise it up. North side, raise it up. South side, raise it up. East side, raise it up. The west side, raise it up. Raise it up, raise it up, raise it up. Hey loves, hey loves, hey loves, hey loves. My name is Wyann Vaughn. I also go by Y, and this is another thankful episode of Raise It Up, Y, the podcast. We are here the last Thursday in October 2021. Goodness, this has been a month, you guys, and I feel thankful and even appreciative for being here and being present and living and loving the way that I am and that I do. And so this episode is called Appreciation. For those of you who have already copped Been In It a Minute, my debut album that came out on the 1st of this month, you will know that that is the title of the final track on my album. It's called Appreciation. And there's so many reasons to be thankful and appreciative. And before I get into those reasons, I feel like I want to ground us. I want to kind of get us right into this thing today. It's a really beautiful episode. It's a very peaceful and I don't know, it's thankful. You know, I know this is the October episode, but you'll be listening and watching all throughout November in case you don't catch this on the first day that this comes out. And with Dia de los Muertos, with a bunch of great feelings and thankfulness leading up to the final Thursday of November, I hope everyone will be thinking about thankfulness and family and love and being good to yourselves and being good to others as we are just a couple weeks away from the holy day season that Terrace Martin, that is, likes us to call Village Days as of last year. That's an output that we did right around the end of last year. Instead of calling the days around the end of the year holidays, we created the idea. Well, he created the idea of Village Days, but I did poetry on his album talking about it. So, like I say, let's get in to this grounding. All right? Wait, no. At the top of this episode, I think something in me is calling out to say, I want to have a beautiful moment of silence for the baby Vaughn in my life, my beautiful dog that most of you know. On each episode, you'll either hear her little feet running around in this kitchen, or you'll see me dancing with her on my social media, especially if you follow my @Wyanna account, WYANNA account. We'll talk about why we're having this moment of silence in a moment. However, I'd like to kind of have 13 seconds for my baby girl, who is now in heaven with several members of my family who are on this shirt. I'm wearing my Been In It a Minute tee. If you are not on YouTube and if you are listening any and everywhere else podcasts can be consumed, I'm just going to say thank you right now. Anywhere you're listening or looking, thank you. But yeah, I just want a good little 13 seconds of silence for Schoka Bella Vaughn, my doggie. And as we're getting into this grounding, I want to invite you to close your eyes if you would feel like doing so. And if you don't, no worries, especially if you're driving. Please keep your eyes open and focused on the road. But if you can and feel so inclined, I would really enjoy for you to close your eyes and really take a moment to be here with me. Hear my voice. Feel your feet. Wiggle your toes. Touch on your nose. And just do all that to recognize that you're here. Breathe a breath in because you can. Go ahead and blow it out. And if you don't mind, go ahead and do that again, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Really, really, really would love for you to take a moment and own this. The miracle that we call life. That you're breathing and winning just by living this life. And by spending this time with my voice right now, you're investing into your betterment. So I'd like you to sit with that and just feel real proud. And welcome as we go up. My baby, my doggie was 11 years young. Up until her last physical, doctors reported that she had the blood of a puppy. So I call her my forever puppy. And October 1, I put out this beautiful album. Amazing reception. We had a clubhouse room for the pre-release the Thursday night before. And as we're celebrating and having an amazing balls reception for this album, I'm noticing that my doggie ain't as prinked up as she usually is. And she's spunky. Y'all always hear her and see her, just like everybody in this cast, if you will, of the team of Raise It Up Y. She wasn't her most vibrant self. And I thought she was upset with me because I didn't allow her to sit right up under me while we were doing this clubhouse room in my corner of Clubhouse, also called Raise It Up Y. If you just happen to want to look, I'll say it again in the pay you do, so don't worry about it if you miss it right now. However, she came in to be with me from her room and just kind of looked melancholy, if nothing else. And I'm like, oh, little girl, don't worry. I know I spent so much time on this album. I'm about to really, really go up with you. And Friday comes, the album comes out, amazing reception from all areas. Oh my goodness, amazing, amazing times. Saturday, more of the same. However, she just wasn't okay. I could see it. I know that I've had this baby since she was 8 weeks old. And as I'm hearing reception from Nas's only out of New York restaurant manager from Sweet Chick right here in Los Angeles, people are like, yo, this album goes so hard. Can we host a listening party for you? I'm responding to him and said, I'm going to really turn up. I'm with my Poochie right now. We're at urgent care. She's just not acting like herself. She's not feeling so hot. So I'm going to get her checked out and everything. But no, this is a whole thing. We're going to do this. And I think he might be a dog owner too. And he was like, oh yeah, absolutely. Don't even worry about it. And I hope you're, no, not at that point. He said, absolutely. And we're going to talk about it some more. That was in the evening of Saturday, October 2nd. Lots of beds were filled up, but by 8:00 that night, she was able to be seen. And moments after, I'm talking about minutes after she was admitted, the doctor called me and said, yeah, your dog is very sick. And I'm like, very sick. She has the blood of a puppy. Like this and that. She had a hidden tumor behind either her spleen or her liver, and it had erupted. And she had a bunch of bad blood washing all over her organs in her abdomen. I said, Doc, I hate what you're telling me. What are my options here? And there were some expensive options that could have left, it could have allowed Schoka to stay here with us for about 4 more months with the best case scenario. Everything goes perfectly. 4 more months. Surgeries, thousands and thousands of dollars, things like that. I said, what if I ask you to give me my dog back and I leave here and I never come back and I look to do things holistically? She said, then your dog has 24 hours to live. I says, you're serious? She says, yeah, this must have erupted 2 days ago. What was 2 days ago? The pre-release, when she started acting melancholy and different. And I'm like, how did I missed that? Like, did I miss this? Like, it was so weird and such a juxtaposition of emotions. However, on the night of October 2nd, I had to put my baby down. And I thought that this would be an amazing time to discuss the healing process from grief and losses that we experience. My trained therapist side is coming out to play tonight. And that process is called DABDA. I call it DABDA. DABDA is a 5-step process that stands for denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. DABDA is not linear. It doesn't mean that you start with depression. Rather, you start with denial, you advance into anger, then bargaining, then depression, then acceptance. It's not like that. It means these are a circle of emotions, linear, not linear. They can be jagged. One day you can feel like you've accepted a grief or a loss, and the next day you can be mad as hell all over again. 2 weeks later, you can be like, this is not real. This didn't happen, and find yourself in denial again, you know? But the reality is, it's just the cycle of grief and loss. And in these last few days, I love 13s, and today is a 13. In these last few days, I've experienced all of these: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And not in that order. I've been angry the least, I think. And I've felt depressed the most, if I can be honest. All while I'm celebrating one of the heights of my life, especially in my artistic career. You get your whole life, I've heard Exhibit say this, you get your whole life to make a debut album. And that's what I did. I had my whole life to make it, and I put all of my whole life's experiences into this album. And I feel so proud and so happy. And it's just an amazing juxtaposition of emotions to go from that high on Friday to that low on Saturday. But Nipsey Hussle has taught us the marathon does continue. I'm not saying that to brush over this at all, but I'm saying that because we all have to go on, or you can choose to emotionally die with whatever your loss is, whatever you're grieving over. You can choose to stay there, and that can be your plight for the rest of your physical existence. Everything in this life is a choice, let me tell it. And remaining in a sense of depression or anger or bargaining looks like, man, maybe if I had if I would have just, you start to look at the things that you could have done. Acceptance kind of speaks for itself. Denial kind of speaks for itself. Anger kind of speaks for itself. Um, and I just wanted to offer anyone who's going through anything those pieces to that cycle of grief and loss in case it helps you process as we're nearing into the village days, as Terrace Martin calls the holidays, or, Dia de los Muertos, which is the top of November, and things like that. If you're, depending on whatever you're celebrating, we have a lot of listeners from a lot of different areas across the world, a lot of different beliefs. And y'all know I love each and every one of you. There's no judgment. There's no box that I keep my followers, listeners, supporters, AKA loves in. I just enjoy that you all are here, open-minded, open-spirited, and beautiful for everything that there is to come. And I gotta say, it sometimes angers me, if there's one thing that does anger me, that I know life continues. And that I know I have to continue to find the beauty. I have to continue to find the motivation for the beauty in this life. If anyone has ever lost someone very, very close to them, or something, a pet included, very, very close to them, it's almost like a gray film can just happen all over life. Like you have tinted eyelids, and they always film up your sight every time you open your eyes. Nothing is just as bright. Life doesn't seem as beautiful, it can feel like that. And for some days, as I'm still in my early grieving process, it sometimes does still feel like that. But this is a beautiful life. I know that. Even when I don't feel that, I know that. They say the time to practice for war is during times of peace. And I love looking at the positives, the non-corny positives. And I love keeping love around me, surrounding me. I call my followers loves. My listeners, my subscribers, you all are loves. I look for love everywhere I go. And I do that when times like this come and I feel lost. I mean, just lost in feeling, lost in this process of grieving, lost in what to do next with this dope ass album. I go back to those things that feel like pillars to me. And one of those things is the beauty in and of life. And every time I think of that, I think of what today's Douxadiddy is. I think of appreciation. And it makes me think of the song Appreciation on the album. It's my mom's favorite song. My mom is featured, The Emotions is featured on the album, on the DJ Quick produced song on the album. And during the pre-release, my mom happened to say, I love that song, talking about appreciation. She's like, that's my favorite song. Oh my goodness. It's love that keeps me. Yo, what'd you say? Why? It's love. That's going to be my part. That's going to be you're going to say, it's love. She started giving me my parts. Mind you, I recorded it on my album, and then she starts giving me the parts of the album. So I love the idea of appreciation and things that I say in there, and to celebrate what we're going to play at the end of the episode, which is the Douxadiddy. I think I want to get straight into the Get Raised. And the Get Raised includes our wonderful André Mego. And André Mego is someone I'm calling. So André Mego is this dope dude that I'm calling on the phone right now. And he's the one that produced this song Appreciation on my album. Mego, can you say hi to my loves?
Hey.
I was telling you when we was in pre-production that I was going to call you after one segment. Well, now that we're into the episode, because we're filming right now, what we just talked about was DABDA, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then acceptance, or the grief cycle, And I was talking about, of course, Schoka, the Schoka Boo, you know.
Absolutely.
And oh wait, can you tell the loves about when you met Schoka?
Look, I was about to say, when I met Shoga, I literally called my mom and said, "This is the smartest dog I've ever come across in my life." I said, "The dog crawled when you said crawl to me. The
Yep.
dog danced when you said dance.
Yep.
It was say hey to your uncle, barked once.
Real shit. Real shit.
The smartest dog. If you say hey Mego, he'll bark twice." I told my mom, "This is the smartest dog." I said, "I almost don't like our dog anymore."
I am laughing. I'm laughing.
But no, truly, like, in all honesty, I grew up with somewhat of a fear of dogs, but Shoka was just like an extension of you, of just love, where it's like there's no fear as soon as I met Shoka.
Wow.
Ever. Which is funny because I saw that TJ posted that recently too, that he got over his fear of dogs with Shoka.
So. Wendy and my aunt, same exact things. And Wendy and my aunt was the only other one in the not this in the waiting room in the waiting room the night that you know she left physically. She only left physically because she's here every other way.
Absolutely.
You know how that goes. We don't play like that. We don't play that shit. You know, it's like no, she left physically, but physically only.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Always.
And
the love is still in the atmosphere.
Easily. Easily. Wait till you watch this episode's Wyann's Words of Wisdom, because I haven't even announced them yet because they're Shoka's Words of Wisdom, but we'll get into it. We'll get into them at the end of this episode. I might even put give you like a clip of Schoka that I did in like the 24, what is it? 4K 24 FPS, and then I'll see if you can edit it into this so you guys can see some of when Mego got to see her do her stuff. Just she was in rare form that night. I was like, okay, bitch. She was that chick that night, but nah, man, that's crazy. That's crazy in a good way. In a good way. So André Mego,
yes,
you have stolen the heart of my mother for number one with this.
Man, that steals my heart.
Yo, how did you feel when you heard that my mom, who's on the album, her favorite song is your song on the album?
Okay, since it was on Clubhouse, no one could see me. I was literally pacing around just like, there's no way. I said my jaw dropped. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, the importance of like groups like the Emotions and singers like your mother is that when I hear them and their songs, it reminds me of when my dad tells me his story of like he grew up in Peru with the goal of coming to the United States, and he would listen to music and to learn English to accomplish that goal.
Wow.
And so when I know he mentions it, he was like, even if it was just one song, that helped him forge his path to get to where he is today. And of course, the Emotions were a part of it. And so beyond everything, it's like, it's what helped my dad learn English, become who he is in the United States today, and ultimately bring the family that I have today. So when you told me that, it was just like the craziest full circle moment.
Wow. Wow.
To experience that, from what taught him English decades ago, to her saying that's her favorite song on a project, and especially of yours. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
You know what I love? You usher us into a topic I wanted to discuss with you, which was what effect does your family have on you as an artist, as a producer, as a musician, and it's just funny because without even having asked that, you already have tied in talking about Schoka. You already spoke about your mom, talking about and your family dog, which is another member of your family, talking about your song on "Been in It a Minute." We've already covered that dad was from Peru, that he utilized music in order to help him learn the language because his goal was to come to the States and become the amazing freaking doctor that he is and physician that he is and amazingness that he all, I mean, goodness, I love dad. So, but it's just funny that you already are talking about your family and its legacy within music. How would you describe it in your words?
Man, it's like, it's funny because when it's a question I've been asking myself. So to bring it up now was like, what is family and what does it mean to you? Yeah. It's so funny that today I received that answer. Literally, Terrace Martin wrote it on his story, and I couldn't make this up. Like, he said, spend time. The time on earth is limited, so spend time with those who know that. And literally, that's who I call my family.
Yes.
Because those who value time and understand what it means to just spend time with one another, that's my family.
Yeah.
And I've seen that in so many ways. When you and I do our Target runs, we value that time.
Yes.
I know we do. It's not just an errand. It's like, no, that's us.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
To a moment like that, for like, for everyone to know, this past year, I suffered two great losses: my grandmother, my uncle,
right.
both on my mom's side.
Right.
And when I think of my last moments with them, they kept that going in terms of, they knew their time was limited, but they wanted to spend it valued. When I saw my grandmother at the hospital, she wanted me to hold her hand so bad, and I was so scared because of COVID. I said, maybe if I touch her, it will make it worse.
Wow.
I don't want to. I want her to just, I was like, if there's a chance of her staying longer, I don't want to risk that. She didn't care. She just wanted me to hold her hand. Right. And that was the last time I saw her. Wow. The last time I saw my uncle, I was worried too. My grandmother had chronic just conditions of diabetes.
Right.
My uncle had pancreatic cancer, stage 4. When I was with him for the last time, he just kept asking me to hug him. He said, I don't care about this virus. I just want your hug.
Wow.
And so they showed me to the very end, they value, no matter how little, the time on this earth. So to me, that's family. Those who understand the value of time and how limited it is.
Mego, on the last episode, it was either the last episode or the episode before it. No, it was last episode. We were discussing a couple that I encountered, and their big thing was telling me and my mate, enjoy the time. They kept saying, enjoy the time. They were double our ages, literally. And their thing was, in this life, you'll make money, you'll spend it, you'll have the house, you'll lose the house, you get another, there's so much stuff in this life. But one of the main things that they kept driving home, they just kept saying, enjoy the time. It goes faster than you freaking realize. So enjoy it. And that's just so dope, because I'm hearing you talk about losing family during the era of COVID. And I've lost a couple family members as well during this era. And the caution therein when it comes to, how the virus could be spread, things like that. But what I also wanted to get into was how brilliant your family is, and you're no exception. You, congratulations, just experienced your physical graduation from Duke University. Bam, 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 bitch. Like, that's out. Man, listen, how do you feel, master's degree holder for business from Duke University with a pre-med undergrad? How do you feel?
Man, it is. It's funny when I think about Duke, it's like, there's those 2 degrees, but I also feel like I got another degree from JAMLA too, even though I don't want to say I graduated, but
Speak.
I got so much
Speak.
education there. in the classroom, out of the classroom, in the studio, outside of the studio. It was, to me, having that graduation was a nice way of just celebrating with, of course, like my classmates, my friends, my loved ones. But even just, I remember when we had the graduation, I said, man, I was on the wait list for Duke. I wasn't even like knowing I was going to be there until like mid-June.
Yeah.
Before classes started. And I said, man, if I were to talk to myself 6 years ago, I said, I wouldn't even believe myself out of everything that's come across from that. Like, just the idea of forging my own path to stray away from medicine to do my love, which is music, and what music is in my life is not necessarily always just the creation of it, but what it all means altogether. Gaining family, truly, like many that you've met at Jamla and at Duke, and learning to develop my spine. In terms of, yes, absolutely, and it's always going to be a work in progress, but I believe it really started there during my time in undergrad, and of course grad school, and just, you know, there was a question you posed on your IG live the other day, which was, when do you cut somebody off? And it was funny because I had to quickly sign off of that for something else, but in my head I was like, at Duke it taught me that I never necessarily cut somebody off, but I always decreased my scope from so many people.
Ooh.
And they don't have to be the focus anymore, and they can just be a blurred out part of the back.
That part, baby.
And so when ask me how does it feel, the whole thing, it is an array of different emotions.
I'm sure.
But all to say that I'm happy I did it. I'm proud that I did it. I'm the first one in my family to graduate from the United States, so that's a good feeling too.
Let's go. Let's go, boy.
And to do it in such a fashion, I feel really proud of myself. And sometimes I don't recognize that enough. So for you to ask that, like, I don't reflect on it enough. So thank you, because like, no, it makes me really happy.
Yes. When I think of our song on this album, it makes me get into this mode with you. It gets, I mean, the question that's come up the most since people have listened to it, because now I've done the pre-release album party on Clubhouse. We did the release that happened on the Thursday after it came out, whatever date that was, the 7th, I believe. And that's where Quick came out, Game came out, Rants pulled up, you know, as well as everyone in. Shouts out to @Sleepless in LA on Instagram, sleepless.in.la, and everyone on Clubhouse, Erica B, Rocky Rock, B Mac, Honey, just, you know, Deja Vu, all of y'all, you know, I love y'all. But they allowed me, and my girl Crystal Mays, who is an amazing woman, who was she's not just, but she's an entertainment lawyer, who was genuinely and authentically creating content on the app so consistently, and she was so well noticed. Out of all the millions of users on that app, they asked her to work for Clubhouse. Now she's employed by them.
Wow.
How about that? How about being your real self and getting that sort of result out of it, nigga? Like, what are we talking about here? What are we really doing? And I want to use that as a springboard to talk about when you first were around Jamla, and I first ever knew you back in 2017?
2017.
Bro, you were an intern. You've worked yourself up to, and I mean, not worked yourself up to like you were attempting to do it on purpose. You being just you and diligent, you're now like a manager and on the executive side of things at Jamla. Describe that.
Man, it's like I call Ninth the Oracle. I always call Ninth Wonder the Oracle. So like in the movie The Matrix, the character, the Oracle, what she does is she doesn't tell you what to do and how to do it. She merely tells you something that puts you at the right place at the right time, and it's your decision to go up from there. And I felt like that's how Ninth's leadership style has been. He's like, I'm not going to hold your hand,
right,
but I'm just going to point somewhere, You either can follow my point, ask questions, or you go. And the way that I even became an intern is still the wildest thing.
Yeah, no, I want to hear that. Yes, please.
So, a big reason why I applied to Duke, I didn't know Ninth was teaching every year there. I knew that he taught there years before, and I was like, man, I hope that one semester at my time at Duke, I can get one class with him.
Outrageous.
And he always taught in the spring. And like I said, I didn't know if he taught every spring. In my freshman fall, it was the first time he ever taught in the fall. And it was the first time he ever taught production.
Whoa.
No one saw the class on the registrar. So me as a freshman, I got in somehow. And so I get in the class, and in the first day of class, everyone's talking about musical taste. And he's kind of mad because everyone's taste was just whatever is like the number one on the charts, this, then the third. He didn't really see the emotional, sentimental, like, did it make you feel something, or is it something that you just heard everywhere? And I remember he said, so what are your favorite songs of the year? And I said, mine was straight up Ty Dolla $ign with Jagged Edge.
Ooh, I'ma tell you straight up. Yeah, straight up. Yes.
Absolutely. And so he got me in front of the class. He said, this man knows real music. and that was the funniest. I was the happiest freshman in the world. And so, like the next class, he, Crisis and Cash, were there to help. And I brought my first book that I wrote in high school for them, A Wounded Lion.
Right.
And we talked for like an hour after class. And the support that I got from all three of them was just incredible. And so the rest of the semester goes great. He told our class, I'm an ambassador. I'm on the board for the new Smithsonian. We're having a weekend where I have to go. If y'all want to go, you can just come with me. Like, I'll put you on the list.
Wow.
I was one of two students. Only one other student went that took that opportunity.
To go to the Smithsonian? You talking about the African American history?
And I skipped. And this was fall of 2016. It wasn't just a line outside. It was a line for months.
Yes, I remember that.
I went through the back. André Mego, go right ahead. Met Timothy Ann Burnside.
Of course.
Everything.
Shouts out to Timothy Ann, fellow Aries. Ow.
And so, and he asked me, he's like, are you in my class next semester? I said, no, that got filled up. He said, don't worry about it. And I was somehow in the class next semester.
Wow.
Hip-hop cinema.
Wow.
At the end of that semester, one of my friends, she wanted to ask him to be an intern at the label. And she just wanted me there for support. I wasn't asking. I was, like I said, I was very pre-med focused.
Right.
At the time. And so when she asked, like, could she be an intern? He said, of course. He said, Mego, you should be an intern too.
Wow.
Right.
Being a friend got you the opportunity. Goodness.
And so that summer started the intern duties. Of course, met Tia and everyone at the label. And from there, just learn to balance it out and learn to get comfortable in both spaces, in the studio and at Duke, and traveling without a car at first and getting a car and doing both, and learning to, soak up the education in both ways.
Yeah.
In a parallel fashion. It was the best experience ever.
But see,
and
now,
so when you say edutainment,
yeah, thank you. No, do that again. Say that again.
That was edutainment. Like,
but I'm just saying, like, that makes more sense now when you say, you talk about and you reflect on your years at Duke. You don't just see the opportunities that you got there at Duke, because from your inception there, you were also Jamla.
From the beginning.
That's man. Listen. Look, you hitting my all. Look, pause. But you hitting all my points, and I wanna end this segment with you by allowing my loves to know that I experienced one piece of disappointment with you only. I was supposed to be your first placement.
Yes, 1 week removed.
I mean, when you say I was trying to beat Domani. Shouts out to King T.I.'s son, Mr. King T.I.'s son, Mr. Amazing Domani. You're an incredible artist if you're listening or watching, young man. And what you, Nico Brim, and Ruben are doing, I'm just applauding you.
Absolutely.
I'm applauding you big time. You don't know me, baby boy, but you know what? I'm Auntie Y. That's how that go. Ask Mego. Mego will tell you.
Absolutely.
Well, no, Mego, I'm his twin twice removed. That's all. So you don't have to worry about that. But no, I love it. Can you please tell the loves before you go about
for sure.
what you did with this beautiful project of Domani's?
Man. So throughout the time at Jamla, like I said, the freshman fall hip hop production class, the first time I ever saw a beat machine in my life.
Right.
Ninth taught that semester, and while I was at Jamla, my focus was, of course, being an intern and doing duties of an intern, not making music. So, helping everything out. But by the grace of, Cash and everyone there, they allowed me to learn at the same time. So I would shadow Cash making beats the whole time. And I learned so much about it. And, of course, through ninth, etiquette on just how to carry yourself and never be pushy and just let moments and blessings happen as they come.
Yes.
And so over time at Jamla, while still an intern, I developed a relationship with Ruben Vincent. That's my brother to this day. I'm actually now his manager.
That part right there.
And he trusted me so much to go with so many sessions with him, as Ninth did in other sessions.
Yeah.
And a few of those were with Domani. And the first 3 times, I never mentioned once that I made beats ever. I was just there to just let Ruben work with Domani and, of course, just make beautiful friendship and memories, just dinner.
Right.
Whether it be playing chess.
Right.
Pool, spades, everything, and Uno. And then by the 4th time, Ruben recorded a song to one of my beats, and Domani said, "Who made that?" He was like, "Him." And he looked at me like, "You've been here a bunch of times, and you're just not gonna show me anything?" And he was a little flustered at me. And he was like, "Man, here's my email. Send me beats."
Yes.
And I still had somewhat of an imposter syndrome, and I did it.
Ooh.
The next time I go, he was like, "I told you to send me beats." Like, he's really flustered with me at this point. He's like, "Look, here's my number." He said, "Play some now."
Love.
And so I played some there, and he was like, "Oh, I like that." He was like, "Text me those." Gave me his number. I texted him a bunch. Well, not a bunch. I texted him like a few.
Got it.
Because that was something that Knight said. Don't send more than 5.
True.
He's like,
true.
And so I probably sent like 3 or 4.
Got it.
And then I'll never forget. It was probably 3 days later, maybe a week later, after I sent him those 3 or 4 beats. I was in the studio with Ninth and Ruben. It was like midnight, and then he calls me. I'm like, what is he calling me? And then Ninth gets the phone and starts, joking with him. Ruben, of course. And when the phone got to me, he's like, "I haven't recorded to anything yet, but I just want you to know you have talent.
Wow.
I'm excited to be on this journey with you, and we're going to be on this journey together."
Wow.
And he started naming my beats to me, like, this one and this one's crazy. He said Sugar Water's crazy, which ended up being closer on the album. He was like, "Just keep on going." He was like, "We're going to do this together." That call, like, he never had to do that. And that call meant everything.
Wow.
And then the next day, he sent me what ended up being closer on the album. And he was like, "Oh, this is a super jam." He said, "Send more." And so I sent more. he recorded to another one with Ruben that didn't make it to the project, but we'll see what happens with that.
Okay.
And then I sent him the beat that ended up being Falling, which is him. And so he said, this is beautiful music. And then the same day, he gave me his verses and the hook. And I said, this is incredible. 3 weeks later, he puts a choir on it. I said, this makes me cry.
Yes.
Then Rhapsody gets on there.
Period.
And when I learned to make beats, people can testify, Duke, to this. One of my first goals that I said one day I want to produce for Rhapsody, and that ended up being the first credit with Domani.
I love it. I'm trying not to scream while you're talking. I'm listening.
And then the last piece, he said he put Anthony Hamilton on it.
Yeah. Right. That's what I forgot. I remembered rap. Shouts out to Anthony Hamilton, of course.
Shout out Anthony Hamilton.
Always. Wow.
And it was the most amazing journey of it all, especially just my conversations with him, because I always say he changed my life before we ever made a song together.
True.
The way he carries himself, the way his values, I respected it so much that the way he talked about what his relationship with his father was like, it helped me talk about things with my dad.
Beautiful.
Since I got back to McAllen.
Beautiful.
So he changed my life beyond and before the music. And so for that placement, it was the wildest journey. That the day the project came out was the day.
Oh, the day the project came out was the day. I know he better call back. Oh, I know what happened. His phone died. It had to. Watch this. I got y'all. Watch this. Hold up. Yeah, call back though. I don't mind that your phone died. Haha, there you go. Oh, I just declined the call accidentally. I was too excited. My bad. And all the while, this thing is still recording. Okay, so I don't even trip. And it sent. Didn't want that. Don't even trip. We calling him back. 111 alignment. I was like, his phone died.
Oh, my phone didn't die. I don't know what happened.
Oh, well, no, we didn't. We over here, we grooving with you. So no, keep going. You said okay, what now?
So the day the project came out with my first production credit on the Mani's project was the first day of the commencement ceremony that they had for a year and a half later at Duke. And I was also at the studio, which was an amazing full circle for all things at once.
Wow.
And of course, Cash, the label president, my personal mentor, he told me just keep on going and, just know that you won. He said, understand the blessing, what this is as a first placement and what that direction leads to.
Wow.
And so, just to, before, I know I got to close soon. So, and I know there was so many things. You and I could keep talking for 8 episodes.
This is what we do.
Every time. And so, man, when you said from intern to manager and this production credit, everything, just to try to tie it up as succinctly as I can. At Duke, Ninth was very respectful. He didn't want to impose for me to change my life plans because of him. And so I was an intern until I had my father's approval not to be, so Ninth was very respectful of that, Rap, Cash, everybody. And Rhapsody was actually the biggest catalyst for me to stand up for my own and actually pursue what I wanted to do. And it wasn't medicine. And there's a whole story as to why that was so important to my father. And but the biggest thing was, when you go on your own path, even if you don't know all the pit stops to the final destination, just it's your path, and it's for you to figure it out.
Yeah.
And she helped catalyze so much as to learn to live my life for myself.
Ooh.
And make your own direction sometimes. And to not be, an extemporaneous, like half possession.
Right.
Imitating another. And so with that, I'm forever thankful and appreciative, no pun intended, to Jamla, to Duke, especially to you. Oh. And every time I text Ninth, thank you for everything. I know I want to text him a bunch or call him and tell him a bunch, but I'm not going to do that to him. And so every time I thank him, though, I always think about how I gained a brother, which is Ruben.
Yeah.
And I gained a twin, which is you. I always think those two things every time above everything else.
Damn right.
Above all the knowledge, above everything. I gained y'all two. And to me, I can't thank Ninth enough for putting me in that studio that led me to y'all two.
Oh my goodness. There was no more perfect song. Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me not step on that. Say it again. I love what? You love me? You said you love me? What was that? Yeah.
I love you, Wyann.
I love you too. I love you so much. Boy, let me tell you. And here the funny part is I was going to end this segment with saying the song is called Appreciation, but I love and appreciate feel thankful for you and the Mego. The Mego, the stallion. What?
Oh, man, Cash is going to kill you for
Cash is going to kill me. I know. Sorry about that, Cash. Cash don't make me. Yeah, sorry about that, Cash. But I am going to say thank you so much for being who you are continually learning you are. You're still in that process. And I'm not saying just you. I could be talking about Onette. I could be talking about Boomer. I could be talking about any individual. We're always evolving and learning exactly who our highest self is as we continue to tap in to who and what we are. But what I want to tell you is, talks like we say, I could have you back on and that whole salsa lesson can be a whole nother, boy, that could be a whole nother episode. You know that. So
absolutely.
I'm just saying, just, in the appreciation mode, you guys with mom, even your Tia mom who looks just like you, you look just like her, your dad's sister. I'm talking about Doc Mego, your entire family is so appreciated, and I cannot wait for the opportunity to get down to the Megoland, not the Megopad, but the Megoland. Yes, that is over there in Texas. And I just want my loves to know you and hear your voice and see that this whole album, it was only done with people who fit the bill. You know what I'm saying? Like, I branded this album down to who I wanted a part of it. I had other songs with big producers and people and names that could have been, but that wasn't the point of this album. Been in It a Minute was largely in part due to family legacies and the continuance of that with music. And the Mego legacy, whether it be medicine or music, I wanted to make sure y'all, especially you as my twin, were represented. Boomer right here from last episode and his family legacy represented. Ninth, we only have to go there. Cash, we don't have to go there. Crisis, we don't have to. Soundtrack, we just talked on the phone right now before the camera started rolling. Soundtrack is like husband too, you know what I'm saying? Like the fact that his energy and his heart and he's just a beautiful person, someone that's nice for no reason. And I love nice for no reason type people, but with drums that smack like, knock your ass upside your head type. So I'm gonna let you go. I got you up all late in McAllen. However,
it's never an issue.
I just wanted to say I thank you again, and I love you with all of my heart. Everything.
I love you too, Wyann.
Absolutely. I'll talk to you soon, okay, baby?
Yes.
All right, bye. I love him. I love that. I had to share that with you guys. I hope, especially for my students, I'm not actively teaching at the college where I was currently. Um, that's an oddly worded sentence. I'm not currently teaching where I was previously employed, but my students are my students, and they're sometimes there. They're sometimes at the 1500 Sound Academy, and sometimes some of you loves have just decided, y'all will tell me, no, I'm your student. I'm like, So let me say this. Another jewel from Mego that I got, because I want you guys to know the get raised segments are so that all of us get raised. The first thing that we did today, where I showed you Dabda, that's a raise them up. That's where I take knowledge I know and I disseminate it to you all. Douxadiddy, which you'll hear at the end of this episode, is when we feature, exclusive content usually, and this is no exception. It's not necessarily exclusive because it's out now. However, original content, that's a better word, So we like to put on stuff that we know can play. Nobody's gonna come for us because we play it. So when you own your own shit, that's what I do with my music. So we're gonna be playing that at the end of the episode. But the reason that we do Douxadiddies is just, again, to let people hear music that doesn't just go on the top 10 Billboard chart, but is still amazing legacy-filled music. We're going to do the song Appreciation, which André Mego, you all just heard in our Get Raised segment. What we made sure that he does is, no worries. What we make sure that he does is come on, be a part of what we do, and give us that information through love, light, legacy, and things of that nature. And I'm telling you, between André Mego and his familial energy that he put in those keys and in that production on that song, and everything that you hear out of me on that song, I hope that you all are highly, highly blessed. I'm good, right? I'm good. The other jewel I wanted you all to capture from what Andre was saying earlier was, especially for my students, have aspirations to do something like go to Duke University if that's your thing. He also, I don't think he said, but he applied to like Harvard and other places. But Ninth Wonder teaching at Duke is why he chose to go to Duke and be on their waiting list, where he was at other Ivy Leagues and he didn't have to be on a waiting list. He had aspiration. He had designs for himself. He decided, I want not just to get a stellar education, top tier, not second class education. I want something more than that. And in wanting something more, he gained a whole life and a whole family. And his second placement, not his first, like it was supposed to be. I'm not gonna go, but yeah, a week late from the first placement. No, I'm gladly and thrilled to be privileged, if you will, to be that man's second placement, behind placing on the incredible Domani's album. One of his songs really manifest destinying his desires to go to Duke, which is producing for Rhapsody. And I don't know, Anthony Hamilton hops on the song. Heavens. So I just wanted you all to make sure that you heard any of my students. You go, you grow. And then once you're done with school, because I know we're in fall semester, a lot of, the people in school, you got to work it. It's not just enough to go to the smart people school. Whether you're at Harvard, Princeton, Yale, Stanford, I don't give a fuck. Whatever school you go there, have the experience, but you still got to make it work for you. If you're an educated asshole that no one wants to work with, I hope you stay in school a long time. because the real world gonna have its way with you. All right? Go and grow. Don't just be at these schools to say, I have an Ivy League education or a community college education. I don't care, a degree. There's a certain amount of humility and a zest for life, yearning for wanting to do more that you will experience if you look to be a lifelong learner as you go and you grow. Leading out of this episode, I usually give you Wyann's words of wisdom. And today we're going to borrow from the legacy of what's Schoka's full name? Schoka Bella Vaughn, because she definitely has my last name. Zelike. Yes, she has my last name, but oh my goodness, I just realized that someone might learn that she's gone by looking at this. Someone in her life. So maybe I'll text him so he doesn't get lambasted right now and taken off guard. So that might be good for her. But I want to share with you on these Wyann's words of wisdom Schoka's legacy lessons. There are 5. They're very Schoka. Number 1, don't be afraid to let love win. I'll explain later. 2, take time to sit in the grass every once in a while. 3, you can be scared of the smallest things and still be great. 4, lampshades and acoustic guitars are the devil. Those are just her fears. I just wanted to put that in there. And 5, my favorite. It's okay to be cautious when the road starts to look different. And it might very well get different. Just remember that you walk over it the same way you do when it's familiar. Don't be afraid to let love win. Years ago, I spent a lot of time with Sho, kind of like last year because of just the way that things were. Everyone in the house and things like that. And this was like 2016 and 17. I'd spent so many hours not working on the pharmacy with Dr. Dre, Exhibit, DJ Pooh, DJ Battle Cat, and the legendary Beat Junkies fearless leader, DJ J-Rock, and others. I'd spent so much time working on that and at the college where I worked that when I would come home, I maybe had time for the guy in my life at the time. And even he was a working musician. So really, I would spend a whole bunch of time with my doggy. And at one point I remembered feeling so close to Schoka, like dog park today, go jog a couple miles on the beach, Bruce's Beach. Shouts out to Bruce's Beach, not Manhattan Beach, in California. Go jog down there to Hermosa and jog back up. That would be like a second day, a third day. We would go to the dog park at Redondo Beach, and we would go up to Griffith Park's dog park, and we would go. I mean, like, we were spending a lot of time, and I have no clue what made me think back then, 2016, 2017, what if something happened to Schoka? As close as I felt to her, I almost felt like distraught or fearful, or I could assume what heartbreak from not having her around would feel like. And I intentionally put space between her and me. And anytime from that 2016, 2017 time, I'm talking about if I was sad, if I were scared, if I were anything in this house, she never needed permission. Even though, like Mego said, she was one of the smartest dogs. She asked for permission. She knows to wait at this place. She was just the smartest dog. Without asking for permission, she would know exactly what I needed, when I needed, what I needed. And sometimes it was just to be in close proximity with me. And I would be like, Schoka, don't be in here. I don't want you. You're not supposed to be on this side of the house. Blah, 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 blah. She would totally ignore me, knowing that she knows all the rules. Totally ignore me. Walk up to my tear-stricken face if it was a sad day. She'd look at me, lick on my face, take off all the tears, and be like, okay, now it's time for a ball. And she goes, she gets a ball. She comes back. She's like, okay, toss this. Okay, now, okay, stop. And then she'll take the ball and just lay. She's like, all right, now you just need me to sit here. And it's like, who created you? What the fuck? You know, but the idea is allowing her to be as close as she knew to be to me when, shoot, God may have instructed her, hey, your assignment right now is to go help that situation. Not being afraid of that closeness, not being afraid to allow love to win and love to be in. And don't just keep this, ladies and gentlemen, and loves, what I'm saying to be for me and my dog. Please allow these lessons to stretch out. Some of you have a shorty, a love of your life, a great, great friend that you've kept around for the extent of forever. And you just haven't allowed love to win with the two of you. Maybe you're scared. Maybe you don't know how things will turn out, so you're having a fear of the unknown. Whatever it might be, fuck that shit. Let André Mego's story about his family members that passed away, let Schoka's legacy, let whatever I've gone through this year from the fall and March and busting my face open, whatever it, enjoy the time. I love that we think this time is 100% granted to us forever. Man, if you don't propose to that girl, if you don't get serious about that particular job, do whatever it is that you think you need to do to create a sense of peace, love, and joy and enlightenment within yourself. Let love win. Let that vibration win within you. And remember to take time to just enjoy life. Go sit in the grass from time to time. That was one of Schoka's bigger lessons in the last 2 years, 3 years of her life. Schoka, why I say lampshades and guitars are the devil to her, she would be scared of lampshades. Was her first big fear. And if you took a lampshade off of any lamp, by the way, she'd have I'm like, seriously? Because when we were outside and there was like a rat in Auntie Pat's backyard and stuff, and you went, and you can do all this, but pull out this lampshade. Lord, no, she would be scared if anything looked unlike it was supposed to look according to her. And she was the greatest thing in the world. I know we can be scared of love. I know we can be scared of our greatness. I know we can be scared of what we might look like if we really took the reins of our lives and lived, right? André Mego talked about his dad being a doctor, going into medicine, him getting sent to Duke for medicine, getting a pre-med degree in his undergrad, and then saying, yeah, I don't want to do medicine. It takes cojones to speak for yourself, to create and develop that backbone like he talked about. But it's for you to develop and nobody else. You can live your whole life without you being in it. I said that on the Voice of Reason Visionary Affirmations from last year. You can live this entire life and you not be in it because you're fighting everyone else's fight, you're people pleasing, whatever your hang up is, what you think created your purpose and creates your purpose. which might just be an assignment in your life. There's a lot of distractions out there that people are thinking is multitasking, multi-focus. No, you have a focus and then you have distractions. You got to decide what's which for you. All right. Which is what, But learning to be okay when the road gets different, talking about Schoka's little fears. Onette is already laughing because we go walk Schoka on Bruce's Beach. I will continue to say that. If you don't understand why, please Google Bruce's Beach, California. Southern California, Bruce's Beach, and you'll understand why I keep saying Bruce's Beach. I'm very excited about that. Anyways, being in Bruce's Beach and going for walks with Schoka, sewers, other cracks in the road, anything where the road doesn't look like it's looked for the entire time we've been walking, Schoka, it would almost be like if someone put a wall in front of her, like uh-oh, I can't go forward anymore, all because it's pavement, sewer, pavement, and she would literally like stop, like you'd be just jogging along, walking with her, and she would tell me she will stop, or she will walk directly around it, even if the pavement around it is only this thin. She'll find a way to, all right, now we're back on the pavement. And so a few of the walks, 5.5, 6 mile walk, me and Auntie Zelike, Auntie Onette, we would be walking her, and I would tell her, no, every time she does that, we're going to take her back over to the sewer and show her, look, you can stand on this. You're okay. You don't got to fear shit in this life. You can do it. You can do it. Go right back over it. And towards the last couple of times that I know you would walk her with me, she would just go. And you would be like, why? I don't want to say nothing. But I think she's doing it. And when I was taking her the last times, on the Culver City walk, the one over there where they had the big, she wouldn't even trip. She's just going. I'm like, this motherfucker's the best dog in the fucking world. The night before she passed, we did the Culver City walk. And she was so slow. We were celebrating the album release, October 1st, Friday night. And she got to the biggest sewer part, the one that like when it gets to that one light right there. And she goes, but she's just trying to go and do her best. But she didn't switch up. She was not scared with the fuck. She just kept it pushing. And it took us a while to get that 1.5 miles off. But 24 hours before she left this earth, not even 24 hours, 20 hours before she left this earth, she was doing a walk. And when we got back to my car, because I do, at least 2 some odd miles, I'm like, Sho, you don't have to go with me on the second run. You can go back up in the car. She was like her panting was belabored. And so she was like, and she looked at the road and she looked back at the car. And she like pulled, like, no, I want to keep going sort of a thing. I says, no, I'm making a G call. And I'm putting you in this car. Like, I'm putting you in the car. I'm going to do the last lap alone, but I'm going to put you in the car. But she was like, I'm going to go. I'm going to go for it. And quick, hit me right at that point, right at that time. And he said his sister, 60-year-old sister, was listening to Gotta Be Yours from Been in a Minute and was like in tears listening to mom singing on his production. Because that was my gift to him. He didn't know that was going to happen. And so for the second lap, we were talking on the phone the whole time and everything. But yeah, Schoka's whole thing was when the road started to look different, she would stutter step or she would become scared and not walk, not just take the walk anymore. So it was really important that before she left this earth, look at that. Before she left this earth fearless. Only love. And she walked like a fucking big dog, man, and did the damn thing. But the craziest part about that lesson for me, I have only lived in this house 1 year without Schoka. 1 year without my dog. So now this whole house feels like a fucking sewer that I'm trying to walk over, you know? And it's like, it's different. It feels scary sometimes. But I can almost see her saying, you know what? You do this just like you do when I was here. You just keep going. So just because the road looks different doesn't mean you don't walk over it the same exact way that you do when it was familiar. And it's a lesson I'm still learning, if I can be honest. But I'm just very, very thankful, and I am appreciative for the 11 and some odd years I got to have with my dog. If you are a dog lover, owner, anything, hug your baby tonight for me, please, for Schoka. And if you are a love, send one random text to anybody you think you love. Please. Anyone. Just one person. Make sure that you're being love. Not that you're giving love and receiving love. Just be that love for me on this episode. I'm gonna need it. I need that strength. All right? And also, before I go, can you see this? I fell. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I thought these shoes had more grip. They don't. All right. Don't worry about that. I love the do more than you knew. You already know. ILOVETHEDOUX. My cousin Maya Smith is the owner, founder, and MC, aka the master of curl, at the Do Salon right there in Macon, Georgia. If you're listening, I'm currently holding up her One Love product. Let me get you right here. One Love product. My hair lady at Hair by Quista, HAIRBYQUISTA. Let me know that in these upcoming months where winter is upon us, especially in Los Angeles where it was just 92 degrees, maybe. No. I'll tell you. The weekend that Been in It a Minute came out, which was just 2 weekends ago, it was 88, 92, 94. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Those are the temperatures that I saw. So it's like, thank you, global warming. But no, it goes from being that hot to like it is when I woke up earlier today on the 13th, 51 degrees. That's a huge jump in just a few days. So people, make sure, ladies and gentlemen, if you have hair, make sure you are doing things like my cousin's co-wash and conditioning treatments. This right here she says, is wash day in a jar. And what I like about this product, between getting my hair done by Hair by Quista, I give myself a whole few hours to just have this product sit on my hair, and it moisturizes me, conditions me. It also smells like pomegranate and bubblegum, which is amazing. So make sure that you are taking in your One Love and all other The Do products. That's number one. Number two, Stimulated Minds at STIMULATEDMINDS.CO__. Let's see. I opened this to make sure I had contents for those on not YouTube or my listening loves as opposed to my onlooking loves. I'm opening a package that I just got sent It is a medium shirt. It is horizontal yellow and white with green stimulated. The S of stimulated is in beautiful cash money. I'm liking it. I'm loving it. Hold up. So we got one with, we got lemon lime. We got lemon lime coming on, cats. Oh, this one's green and white horizontal striped with, what color is that? Not even. That's not red. That's like a rose goldish wannabe looking, but like more on like a lavender. I don't know, but my nails look cute on it. Hello, yellow. Talk about her. But no, this Stimulated Minds Co. Thank you so much for rocking with the pod. I wanted to show the folks some of your new exclusive, not even on your Instagram yet. Instagram again being at Stimulated Minds altogether .co__. I love it. Thank you so much, Stimulated Minds. Make sure you're following André Mego, ANDRE.MEGO. He has other stuff coming out. I didn't know if he felt comfortable about me speaking about some of the things that he has coming out, so I didn't ask him those things. on a forthcoming episode at some point in the future, I'll go back and maybe we can talk about and discuss some things as we know the release dates of things that he's working on, not just music. So that would be really good. As always, you can find all things Wyann at wyannvaughn.com. Wyann Vaughn, all spelled together. Well, WYANNVAUGHN. I forget, not everybody has been following me forever. Clubhouse. If you are on Clubhouse, I have a club on Clubhouse under the same name as the podcast, Raise It Up Y. Make sure you come in there. We have dope discussions and talks. I really enjoy what we've covered. It's been different stuff. I don't want to spoil it. You just come in there. As always, hashtag rockets up on these hoes whenever you want to see things of me. New music. Been in it a minute. You see the shirt? I know you see. No, you might not see it because you're listening. But I have the Been in It a Minute merchandise shirt on. We are going to have physical copies. Yes, CDs. Yes, I understand everyone doesn't have a CD player. All you motherfuckers don't have vinyl either. Let me help you out. Rather, you don't all have record players at home and you don't have cassette players at home. Not everybody does, okay? So whatever I get is not going to satisfy everybody, okay? Only thing all y'all got is phones. And Been in It a Minute is in your phone right now. Support all independent artists by purchasing the albums as well as streaming the albums. For iPhone people, purchasing looks like iTunes Store. For non-iPhone people, that can look like Amazon Music or Google Play. You can buy buying on Google Play as well. Purchasing the album and streaming is the very best way. And getting merchandise and things like that from your favorite independent artists. All of those things are the best ways to make sure that you're supporting as fully as you can your favorite local independent artists. I feel like I've covered everything in this episode. I feel like we did a good and a great job. I love my doggy. I love my mommy and my family and everybody that's worked on this project with me. You're going to be staying tuned right now for Been in It a Minute's last track, the way we ended this project with André Mego's produced Appreciation. And let me just tell y'all, loves, I appreciate you for your non-refundable time and being here with me. Once again, thank you very much. And stay real, y'all. Raise it up, why? Raise it up. 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 You know, I learned recently, there's a difference between the vibrations of gratitude and appreciation. And initially it made me feel away, 'cause I choose to claim a gracious way of life. But upon further notice, I saw that conventional gratitude tends to make its bed in a sense of unworthiness. And I had to learn that I deserve to feel blessed, that I am worthy for the love that I get and give and get again. I had to find my love for life from within. A-okay, A-okay, that's what I tend to feel if I'm left around the realest. But if it's fake, I can't participate. So dare I say, I'd rather keep to me. Only a few left would agree. So if you feel me, I'll give you the real me and more, so much more. Give thanks to one and all, answer real love when it calls with more, so much more. Natural as a morning sun, no matter where you're from, I wanna thank you. Appreciation feels like love with a cleaner signal. Believe me, I should know. Every heartbreak endured has come from someone who's loved me first. And oh, I loved them back. But that's not an attack on what we had. Love is pretty like spring air or the color of fall in November. Hurt is not love's fault, but in the end you're still left with a heart more tender. And to those who handle with care, there's a lot of love for you here, and so much more. Much more. Give thanks to one and all, answer real love when it calls. With more, so much more. Natural as the morning sun, no matter where you're from, I wanna thank you. It's love that keeps me holding on. It's love that makes me do what I do. Love make me do what I do. I do it for love, keeps me open. It's love that keeps me holding on. It's love that make me do what I do. Love, yeah. It's love that keeps me open. It's love that keeps me holding on. It's love that makes me do what I do. Love makes me do what I do. I do it for love, it keeps me open. It's love that keeps me holding on. It's love that makes me do what I do.